Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is reaching age of adolescence. So in this chapter we are going to learn about what are the changes that occurs in our body when we reach the adolescence age. So first of all, what is adolescence? So adolescence is a period of biological significance. This is the period of rapid change from childhood to adulthood. That means in this adolescent age there are like many changes that occurs in our body which would help us identify that suddenly from childhood the person is changed into the adulthood. So this period is called as the adolescent age. So this is the example from childhood stage to the adulthood stage, that is the adolescence age. So adolescence and puberty, how these two terms are interconnected, we are going to talk about it. Adolescence, the period of life between 11 years and 19 years, when the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity, is called adolescence. So what we can say, the age between the 11 and 19s, those we can say children or the students, they can be considered as they are the adolescents, and between the ages of 11 and 19 years children, they are called as the adolescents, and during this period adolescents are called teenagers. So as we have heard, when we reach the age of teenagers, there are several changes that occurs in our body, that is the adolescence age. Now another term, puberty, what does this mean? So during adolescence, the body undergoes several changes. Okay. And due to the several changes that is occurring in the body, the person is capable of reproduction. Reproduction means in which the person is able to reproduce or generate a new organism. So at this stage, when the person is able to reproduce or they have the capability for the reproduction, this stage is called as the puberty, and all these changes are the beginning of puberty. So what is puberty? When a child get adolescent, like from the child get adolescent. So even from age 9 to 19, they are called as the adolescent age, and in which there will be several kind of changes occurs. For example, you can see here there will be a boy, and once he starts growing, then you will see he will develop the beard, and in girls there will be development of the hair under the armpit. So these kind of development occurs in our body. So what are the stages of a human being? First it will be the baby, then it will be the child, then comes the adolescent, about which we are talking in this chapter. Okay, then comes the adult, and then comes the old age. So what are the changes that occurs during the puberty? Okay, so during the puberty there will be increase in the height. So the student's height will automatically increase, and there will be the changes in the shape of the body. And in boys, you must have heard, there will be the voice change. Even mostly the voice change occurs in the boys. In girls, very like minor changes would be there. And apart from that, increased activity of sweat and sebaceous glands. Sebaceous glands are those which generates the oil, and sweating also increases when a person reaches the adolescence age. Then sex organs are properly developed at this stage, and at this stage, reaching the mental, intellectual and emotional maturity, they became mature enough to take all their decisions. First of all, we'll discuss about the increase in height. So by the age of 11, a boy reaches about 80% of his height and girl reaches about 88% of her height. Initially, girls grow faster than the boys. By 18 years of age, both boys and girls reach the maximum height. That means when the boy or a girl reaches the age of 18 years, जो भी maximum उनकी growth body में होनी चाहिए, जो उनकी height में होनी चाहिए, वो उतना 18 age तक ही होता है. Generally, the height is similar to the parents because it depends upon the genes inherited. So if the parents are short, the children can be short. If the parents are have a good height, they are tall, children can be tall. But it is not mandatory. It depends upon what kind of gene is transferred into the offspring or the baby. Second one is change in the body shape. So In the boys, they will have the broader shoulder. Like when they will start growing, their shoulders will be broad and their chest will be wide, and there will be the fast growth of the muscles. The boys will develop the muscles. And in girls, what will happen? There will be the development of the breast. In boys, there will be the chest, but in the girls, there will be the development of the breast to develop, and the region below the waist becomes wider. And then the voice change during the puberty. In the boys, the voice box becomes larger and seen as a swelling in the throat called as the Adam's apple. You must have observed in your neck area, like one bulged out portion is there, that is called as the Adam's apple. It is because of the swelling occurred in the throat, and because of that their voice becomes deep and hoarse. Like you must have observed, once they reaches the adolescent age, suddenly their voice changes and their voice becomes very hard. But in girls, the voice box is smaller and their voice is high pitched. Later their voice becomes normal. Then next one is increased activity of sweat and sebaceous gland. So when the children reaches the puberty age or the adolescent age, the secretion of the sweat and sebaceous gland, that means the oil, it increases. That is why during the teenage, all the children, they get the pimples over their face. Why? Because there is more amount of oil secreted during this stage. The next one is development of sex organs, in which as you have studied in the chapter reproduction in animals, you have studied about the reproductive parts of the male and female. So the reproductive part in boys, there is the development of the testis and the penis, and they completely develops and they have the ability to produce the sperms. And in girls, there is the development of the ovaries and they are ready to produce the eggs. So you can see through this diagram, you can see the boys become taller, the shoulder becomes wider, they will have the beard and the mustache, then they will have the hair under the arms, then the pubic hair. Pubic hair means in the internal parts or the private parts, there will be the development of the hair. For example, in boys, in the private part, there will be the development of the hair, that is called as the pubic hair. And the neck, the chest and the leg muscles get bigger and stronger. And in boys, the size of the penis becomes increases and even the testis gets larger. And in females, the body gets curvier. Curvier means like they will have a curvy shape. You can see as they will have a curvy shape. And as boys, their skin also gets oilier. And there is a development of the breast. As I told you, in men they have the development of the chest, but in females there will be the development of the breast. And like boys, they will also have the hair under the arms. They will have the hair in the internal parts, private parts. The hip region become wider. So this region becomes wider. They become wide, and weight gain on the hip region. Then leg muscles get bigger and stronger. The same, these one, like boys, their muscles also becomes large and they become stronger. So that's it all for today. We'll be continuing our chapter in our next video with the another topics. Till then, bye bye everyone.